Let's make sure.
The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, you look at our featured team here. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as
Hey,
well.
why did my man just fall?
Throwing up.
I need to take a look at that. Did I hit stick?
First down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Winston. This is caught. It's Woods. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 39.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. And McManus able to put it through. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So now here are the Dolphins getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know what else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. On play action, it's Murray. Eluding the pressure right. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Escaping the pressure right. That's Isabella open on the right side.
Here we go, here we go.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
But you know it's never easy to get Kyler Murray down to the ground, and to do it with a sack on their first drive, what a great tone setter defensively.
Oh, and no one's celebrating more than the defensive coordinator, because that's all he's preached all week long. Keep him hemmed in. Don't let him get into the open field and create big plays with his feet. To get him down in the pocket early, that's got to feel great for them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Flushed out, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kyler Murray with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive spans 13 plays. And the play that polished it off was the touchdown run by Kyler Murray. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are...
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Azeez Ojulari
Able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon. Working out of the gun, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
And this returnable for Hill.
They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
A big play there for the Dolphins. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Play fake. Murray. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Play action. Now it's Murray. Flush to his right. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
On 3rd down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a 1st down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Murray going to throw.
Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz.
Touchdown!
Anthony Schwartz.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Jamal Agnew now to return it.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Jacksonville set to go again offensively.
Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw complete to his receiver, Thielen.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
Good work, boys.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Jameis to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again with Winston. Going to throw right side here, complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 4 yards remain for second down. Winston. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
So they will the penalty and move forward. So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. Now Winston. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jameis again. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Here's Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, That throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Now the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And going deep for Hill. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he's finally out of bounds, but he's taken it all the way down to the 8. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. A final shot before half from Murray. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Henry runs
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Dolphins would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September.
Folks eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight.
Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Now Kyler Murray ready to get back under center.
And really a solid group effort. I mean, the Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
57 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They run the counter. Wakefield. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Throwing, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 3rd and 10. To throw is Winston. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Murray now to throw. Got a man, it's Schwartz, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Juwan Bentley there to get him down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now Murray off play action. Dancing to his left. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Murray has the first down and more. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now on 2nd and 13. Murray escaping the pressure right. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kyler Murray with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And quickly to Thielen here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, Winston. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Winston's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll throw again. Winston. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big connection on that one. 38 yards. Now Winston. Flushed out. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Azeez Ojulari picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. On 2nd and goal, Winston, and he'll find Thielen on the right side. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Off the play fake, Winston. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Devin Bush in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation,
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And now look at him go. He's at the 30. 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Back to it after the pick six. Winston. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Working out of the gun. Winston. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. To throw, Winston. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a couple. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. To the air again with Winston. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught inside the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Jameis to throw it. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point from McManus is good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. Back to throw it. Murray. Flush to his right. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. They give the Chubb out of the gun, and he'll be brought down right around the 37.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Jags grab it. And they have possession. And they have it at the 38-yard line.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Winston. That is caught at the 7. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Now Winston. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Another try after the first down sack. Winston. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself